I am Athanase Millogo. I am neurologist working at Bobo-Dioulasso Teaching University Hospital since 1995. So this is 17 years I'm working in this hospital.
A long time.
Yeah, a pretty long time.
So you recently joined TOP-ALS. Can you tell us a little bit about that collaboration?
Yes, indeed. I think this is an attempt of collaborative multinational longitudinal study in Africa. We built this study so as to investigate about ALS in Africa. The main objective of the study is to describe epidemiology of ALS and ALS-like syndrome, as well as motor neuron diseases in patients in tropical areas. Secondary objective number 3. First, to describe the outcome of these patients with the symptoms through the LS choreal criteria. Secondly, to describe the survival rates of these patients in tropical areas. And at the last one, aim to assess the prognostic factor of these patients in our area. When looking through more than 1,000 references worldwide dealing with the ALS syndrome in Africa or in African origin people, we have just not more than 40 references dealing with this topic for Africa and African originating people. So this point out the fact we need to get more data about this disease. This is why we try to build this collaborative study through many countries. Some are in Maghreb, north part of Africa, some in western part of Africa like me, and the others somewhere in Central Africa.
So you said a lot of things there. One of the things that you did say is that you started out by looking at what studies have already been done. You did an analysis of existing observational studies of people with ALS. Can you tell us a little bit about what you learned from that study?
Yeah, from this study, we learned that first of all, there are very few data from Africa. This is the main point. The second point is that the age of onset for this disease is lower than what is seen in the Americas or in the Western Europe. The third thing is that this disease has a very bad outcome in Africa.
So those are a lot of big things, a lot of big conclusions.
Yeah.
So starting with the first, you said that you noticed that a lot of people that have ALS in Africa tend to be younger.
Yeah.
There's a higher incidence of younger people with ALS. Is that something that you have noticed yourself in Burkina?
From my own experience, usually patients with this ALS tried usually alternative therapy or medicine before seeking modern medicine. The onset of limb weakness is pretty common in my practice. I started working in this hospital. I have seen around 15 to 20 ALS patients, which shows that I have just one new case every single year. I think that I should have more patients to see. I have been the only one neurologist working in this city. This city has around 1 million inhabitants, so the way is very long and the itinerary is very long and complicated for the patients. So when the general practitioners are not able to define or to diagnose this syndrome, this is also another way for the patient to be delayed before the diagnosis, and what also have a very bad impact on the outcome of the disease.
So what you're saying is that problem number one is there are very few of you in the country. You're also saying that a lot of people look to other kinds of medicines before coming to see you. So it's really hard to say when they first have the disease, and at the same time, when they get diagnosed, and the whole diagnostic delay issue is compounded. So it's really hard to say right now. And that is why it's so important to do this study.
Yeah.
So to try
Yeah.
and turn this around, as you launch this big study, are you thinking about ways to find these patients, to increase these numbers, to learn more about the disease?
Yes, I think the one of the aim of this multinational study is that we be able to talk about this disease because it is like a neglected disease here. People do not know much about the disease. Working on this multinational study research in Central Africa, in Western Africa, in the Maghreb countries will aware people and policymakers to be aware about this disease and maybe or hopefully help us to talk about this disease.
So then the hope then for you is to be able to work together, raise awareness of the disease, find people, find them earlier to help them earlier, to try and improve the outcome of people with the disease.
This is what we are working for. We know each other. So we can collaborate very easily. And I think this will be one of the strengths of this study. We used to meet at each meeting dealing with epilepsy or so on, or stroke. Every time we meet, it's another opportunity to discuss about what we are doing for our collaboration.
Right. And I'm hearing a lot about that, working together to make a difference. Yeah. And in your case, there's so much you don't know. But it seems to me that as you get out there, as you get a sense of how common this disease is, and at the same time getting the word out, hey, this is a disease, come see me, I can help you manage this. You'll make a difference in terms of not only diagnostic delay, recognizing the disease, but at the same time, a better outcome, better than what you have previously seen in this study that you just published. That is the idea.
Yeah, it is the main idea of this collaborative study is to get more data about the disease. When we will collect all the data, we will be able to see what are the main problems and what could be done and what will be the next step for the collaboration, because we are working for the patients. We are not just sitting in the offices making some consultation. We owe to improve the outcome of the disease. If this is not possible, I think that we will miss our mission as a physician.